It's time once again for Samsung's worst kept secret. That's right, friends, the S25 series is here. Now I'm currently here in my hotel room in San Jose, but we were able to get our hands on the units to get our first impressions, and I'm gonna break it down into what's relatively the same and what's new. You have, of course, Samsung's signature design when it comes to smartphones, and that pretty much hasn't changed, at least for the S25 and the S25 Plus. Now for the S25 Ultra, there is a very slight change, and I'm not sure if you've noticed it, that the corners are a bit rounded this year compared to the more rectangular shape of the S24 Ultra. Not quite sure about how I feel about it yet, but I'm pretty sure it'll grow on me. By the way, these are the three colorways of the S25 Ultra. These are the colorways for the S25, and these are the four colorways of the S25 Plus. So apparently, there are online-only colors for the S25 series. This is coral red, pink gold, jet black, and I'm going to try and find the missing colors because there are a few phones missing from the bunch. One thing that I kind of don't like though is that the frame on all of the devices are completely flat. You used to have a slightly rounded frame on the S24 Ultra. That's gone, so I don't like the general feel, but then again, we're known to put cases on our smartphones, so I guess that's not going to be an issue. Aside from that and the varying screen sizes between each model, you got the same display, and you know me, I'm a huge fan of Samsung screens, and that hasn't changed here. It looks awesome, good color reproduction, great for watching K-pop videos on, and I'm sure I'm going to be enjoying it once I get my hands on a review unit. Now we had very limited time with the devices, so for the specs, I'm going to be listing them on screen just to make sure I get them right. But as for display, again, I think it should be the dynamic AMOLED panel that we know and love from the previous versions of this phone. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers what's generally the same with the new S25 series. Now, what's new with them? And I think you guys are going to be happy with this. It's because we're getting Snapdragon processors across the board. We're getting the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy across the board, so even the base and Plus units are on Snapdragon. And Samsung did mention that they work with Qualcomm for this, but again, we had very limited time with the units. So in terms of general performance, we don't have an idea just yet. You'll have to wait till we get our review unit, but that is exciting, especially for you guys who might be sighing a breath of relief, especially for people in the Philippines that got an Exynos chip on the S24 and S24 Plus. For the RAM and storage configurations, I'll have them up on screen, as well as the battery for each of the models, just to make sure I get my information all correct for you guys, because again, this has been a whirlwind of information for me. So I just want to make sure. There are also links down below that you can check out if you want to go to our website and just read through everything that we were able to cover for Samsung Unpacked. Now with that new Snapdragon processor, at least for the S25 Ultra, we're also getting a larger vapor chamber for better thermal performance. I think it's 45% larger if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if it's the same thing for the base model and the Plus, so I will confirm that with the people from Samsung once I get that information and maybe post it as a comment down below. But again, if you're planning to really push the S25 Ultra, you can do it better. Again, larger vapor cooling chamber. Now, one spec bump that I wasn't expecting on the S25 Ultra, and unfortunately this is just for the Ultra, is that the ultra wide is going from your traditional 12 megapixels that we've seen in the past from Samsung devices into a 50 megapixel ultra wide. Unfortunately, no camera samples from the S25 Ultra and the entire series altogether, but once I get my hands on the device, I'll put it up on the website and here on YouTube as well, so you guys can check it out. Now, one thing that we're getting across the board for the cameras is the fact that you can now shoot videos in their own log profile. So if you're going into the more cinematic shots for video, again, it's a flatter picture profile that you can color grade. Now they also have a built-in conversion LUT within the phone, but Samsung says that we'll be able to download off the website. And again, you will be able to push the footage a bit more in post if you put it in Premiere Pro or whatever editing software that you have. So again, if you're gonna be a beginner content creator and you just want to use your phone, get those, again, cinematic shots, you can do that. Again, flatter picture profile with their new log profile, which I don't know the name yet. Is it going to be S-Log as well, since it's Samsung? Okay, in terms of pricing and availability for us in the Philippines, again, there was a lot of information thrown at me this entire time, so I will just list all the starting prices on the screen just to make sure again that I get my info all correct. So for the S25, S25 Plus, and S25 Ultra, again, the prices are on screen. But if you want to know more about the different configurations and how much the price point is for those, I will leave a link in the description box for you guys to check out. So that's pretty much it for my first impressions of the new Samsung Galaxy S25 series. Again, signature touches retained, new hardware and features that I'm very excited to try out once we get our unit. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. My name is Tito James. Peace, God bless, and I'll see you guys in the next one.